Aloha! Welcome back to the Sussex Handmade Soap Company. We're in the middle of a couple of weeks of absolutely horrible weather here in the UK. We have just had Storm Kira and we are looking forward, or not, to Storm Dennis this weekend. So what I want to do is take us away from all of that. I want us to imagine that we are lying on a beautiful, beautiful tropical beach. The sun is beating down on me. I'm completely relaxed in a beautiful tropical location, sipping just something exotic that's been served to me by a tall, dark and handsome man. A tall, dark and handsome man. Oh well, I guess we don't have a prop for that one. But unfortunately, all of this is a pipe dream. Well, maybe one more sip. Or not. But what we can do is invite some tropical, Caribbean, Hawaiian, anywhere else that there's tropical islands, you know, just a tropical vibe. We can invite a tropical vibe into our house today through the soap that we're going to make.
Bexhill, Hastings.
It's like the Costa del Sussex. We are going to be making a cocktail-inspired soap today. We have picked a mojito, so we are going to have lime and mint essential oils in there. We're going to top it with a beautiful lime embed, and we're going to do a tiger stripe swirl design throughout the soap. Colouring it naturally with some spirulina powder, we are going to go for green and white tiger stripe swirls. And I've got a picture in my head, I can see it, it's going to be brilliant, I hope. But anyway, let's move swiftly on and start creating that tropical vibe in this house. So today we're starting with our oils. We've got our solid oils melted down and we've added our liquid oils. Now what we're going to do is add in the lye, and then we're going to use a stick blender to bring it to a light to medium trace. After we've done that, we shall be splitting it down into 2 jugs and colouring one of them so that we can create the tiger stripe design in the soap. Okay, happy with that now? And I'm going to chuck in our essential oils. Here they are. We have got some peppermint in there and some distilled lime. It's important to use we're using distilled lime because you can also get cold pressed lime, but that can be phototoxic, which means after you put it on the skin or used it on the skin, you don't want to be exposed to sunlight because it can harm the skin. Distilled lime doesn't do that, and so the lime that we are using is safe for sunlight. And now we have mixed these in. I'm going to split it down into 2 jugs. We're going to have an equal portion in each jug, and we're going to be colouring one of them green. And this doesn't have to be completely exact, so I'm just going to eyeball it rather than weighing it because it's a lot quicker to do it that way. So they're fairly equal now. I've managed to split them down quite nicely. As I was pouring them, I was getting these fantastic wafts of minty lime, which is exactly what we were going for. Now it's time to add in the colourants, the spirulina powder and the French green clay. I've already mixed these with some water, some warm water, using a wooden chopstick to mix them in because there is green clay in there. And clay doesn't like being stirred or coming into contact with metal. It will make it less effective, which we don't want. So now we're going to chuck that in there and work it in. And the spirulina powder does have a bit of a funny smell to it like this. It isn't algae, So it does give off a bit of a funny smell, but don't worry, that will not be present in the final soap. And we've got a nice lime green colour there. So now we're going to go ahead, grab the mould and create a tiger stripe design throughout the soap. And to create the tiger stripe, what I'm going to do is pour one line of the white down the centre. Then I'm going to go to the green, pour a line of green on top of the line of white from a fairly high sort of height so it breaks down through the lower layer. And we're going to continue alternating all the way up the mould until we've filled the mould up. So white first, holding the green up fairly high and just allowing it to go down through the centre of the white. Back to the white again and repeat the process, and I am going to just continue doing this, like I say, all the way up until the mould is completely full.
And speed it up.
And speed it up. Now the soap batters did start to thicken more than I would have liked towards the end of that, but I think we're okay. I'm going to tap it down now just to level it out a bit, and then we'll leave it for just a little while to thicken up a little bit more, and then we'll get on to decorating the top. So I've left it to firm up for a few minutes so that hopefully it's going to be thick enough to allow me to use this spoon here to gently pull the outsides together to form a nice sort of gentle peak in the top of the soap. We'll test it now. If it's not strong enough yet to hold a peak, we'll wait a little longer. But I'm thinking that seems to be okay. I'm just pulling it all towards the middle gently. And I'm going to work my way down this side and then turn the soap around and work back the other way. Now I've worked that into a peak that I am happy with. The smells coming off this are amazing. I can definitely smell the lime, I can definitely smell the mint, so we are achieving with the smell what we want to achieve. But as we're going for a sort of cocktail look, what this cocktail sort of say to me is sugar rimmed glasses, salt with a tequila, lots of decoration. So we can't add sugar, but we have got some rock salt here, and I'm just going to sprinkle a little over the top of this, just to create a little extra detail. So the salt's on, happy with the salt, but you can't finish a cocktail, especially one like a mojito, which is the scent combination that we're going for here, without a nice slice of lime. And I've created these embeds just from some leftover soap batter that I had, I think from when we were doing the orange blossom video. I had some green and some white left over. So I've just piped them into a lime mould and cut them in half. They're originally like that, so I've cut each one in half, and we're just going to top off each bar of soap with one of these limes. I've marked out where the bars are going to be cut, and I'm going to place the lime in the centre of each bar. If I turn it this way, I'm going to start at the front and work my way back. So lime wedge, just gently pressed into the top. And then repeating the process all the way down, finishing these bars quite nicely, I think. So here we have it, one Caribbean cocktail inspired soap, the perfect antidote to a cold, windy February afternoon. Just making me wish that I was lying on a Caribbean beach somewhere now, because that would be a lot more preferable to being in the cold, windy, wet UK weather. We're going to let this set up for a day or two, then we're going to come back. I'm not coming out, I'm coming back. We're going to come back, we're going to chop it up, and we're going to show you the inside of the soap, show you that swirl, and show you the finished bars.
Okay.
I was just about to speak then.
So we're back with the soap.
Oh, just stop it! Right, I've got to start it a different way. We have unmolded our mojito inspired cocktail soap now. I am so happy with how it's looking. Sometimes we get soaps where we unmold them and I look at them and I go, not sure that's quite the look I was going for, or there's something that's not quite right, or I don't like the smell. On rare occasions, such as this one, I get a soap that I am 100% happy with from the off. I'm loving the look on this one, with those little lime pieces. I'm loving the smell, I'm loving the swirl that we can start to see coming through. That's exactly what we were going for as well. And that just means that I am incredibly excited to be cutting this one up and seeing what it looks like on the inside. So let's get it turned over, because we don't want the salt here to drag through the bars. And I've got to be very careful and not to ruin the hard work and cut into any of these limes. So I've marked it out already. And I'm going to very carefully cut down through each bar, hoping I don't destroy anything in the process. And then we're going to see how the swirl looks on the inside. And if it looks anything like it is giving the impression it's going to look like, we're going to have a fantastic bar of soap, I think. Yes! Look at that, that's ace! Oh my goodness, I usually cut up the whole bar before I show you, but I love this. I love it so much. Look at that, that swirl is fantastic. It is just what I wanted. The lime on top looks great, the salt just adds to it. Let's cut up the rest and see if the rest of the bars look like this too. So I've cut the whole loaf now, and I'm still absolutely over the moon with this design. It really couldn't have gone any better. This is how I saw it in my mind's eye. The swirls are amazing. The smell is just fantastic, lime and mint, and exactly the scent we were going for. And I am so pleased with this design. I think it's probably now my favourite design that we've actually done so far. If I had to be super critical, because I have to be, because I always am, the only thing I would have done differently is taken a little bit more time when I was making these embeds, because they are a little bit rough and ready if I'm being honest. But at the time of making them, I had no idea what I was going to use them for, and to be honest, it was more a bit of a test of a new mould that I hadn't used before. I wasn't anticipating using them in anything. But even with that, for me personally, this design is an absolute success and I am delighted with it. So thank you for joining us for today's video, in which we have created what I am now going to be calling my new favourite soap. If you have enjoyed the video, it'd be great if you gave us a like, give us a subscribe, we always appreciate them. And if you want to head over to our website where we do our soaps online, there is a discount code here for anything that you purchase. I can't stress enough, that is purely if you want to, we're just making you aware. If you have no interest in going over to our website, then don't. We don't mind. It's up to you. Do what you want. But thanks for seeing us today, or being with us today, or joining in with us today, and we shall see you next time. Bye!